Hey, everybody, it's Natalie B. McKenzie with The Whole Woman, and welcome to this week's episode of Living Life Authentically with yours truly. So much has happened, but most importantly, today is May 1st. It's May Day. Well, in France, they're protesting. I guess that's what you do on May Day. It's also the first day of AAPI, Asian American Pacific Islander Month here in the US, and we celebrate all our friends from all across the world, but especially our AAPI friends. And in honor of that, you will see the tie in when we introduce our guest. But if you recall, last week we thought we had a solution, and we decided that the way to solve all this violence and unkindness is to just love thy neighbor. Well, what do you know? A neighbor decided the right thing to do was to go next door and shoot all his neighbors. I'm telling you, we will not stop until we get something done with all this gun violence. But welcome to our happy place. You're watching Living Life Authentically with Natalie B. McKenzie. And today we have a wonderful guest for you. Wonderful because I get to chat with a dear friend, a sister of mine that we haven't had the pleasure of chatting with each other, not here in ever. So finally, we get to do this. She is a graduate of the Manhattan School of Music. She's an accomplished violinist and a patron of the arts. She was recognized in 2013 honoree for the Hackensack University Medical Center's 16th annual invitational golf outing. Simply means she raised a lot of money for them. She is also the chairman of Show Me Your Heart Foundation, and she was honored by the National Ethnic Coalition of Organizations in 2017 and was the recipient of the Ellis Island Medal Honor. Ladies and gentlemen, she believes that investing in people is a way to make this world a better place. Welcome, my friend, my sister, none other than Heather One Choi.
Hello. Hello.
Hi, Heather. Welcome, welcome to Living Life Authentically.
Yeah, Natalie, you forgot to say Heather Choi also happens to be Natalie's twin sisters. Yeah.
That's right. How could we miss that? How have
Right.
you been? Welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for being part of this incredible live show. Thank you. Thank you very
You
much.
know, Heather, we have a history and we go back many years, and I know the incredible work that you do every day. I also know your history, your background, and just the amazing life you've had and the resilience that you have exhibited going from one country, one language to the next. But our viewers haven't had the pleasure of meeting you. So why don't you share with us a little bit about yourself? Tell us where you're from, where you were born, and give us a little context of your family background.
I came from Korea, Seoul, obviously. Uh, First freshman of the college because I went to a very special junior high and high school for the music player. And all of our dream come true is like going to America, having a concert, either Carnegie or Lincoln Center. That's my dream come true. So I came to America when I was 21 years old. Obviously, I thought it could be easy. Why? Because all these students from Asia, they are like number one student. But then again, I came to America. I realized that oh my God, there are so many number one students, and also top of it, I didn't know how to speak English. Forget about
Oh
it.
boy.
I didn't know how to speak English. Forget it.
It's- So, Heather, you moved here at 21, but give me a little bit of life in South Korea and Seoul before moving here. Was it a traditional Korean lifestyle, or were they more modern and open to the Western ways of life?
Back then, we tried to open. We tried to be more like the modern, westernized. But since my age, telling you guys saying that back then, even though they try so hard, but it was not like this. Now Koreans are the leading, country for the like they're the leader for the Asian group. So they are like true leader for the Asian area. But back then was not like this. So like coming to America is like you could be the leader coming to America, getting all these new things. It's leading. That's a fast ticket to become a leader. So that's why everybody wants to come to America. But now, since I got the American citizenship, the way you look at it now, back then and now, is kind of different. Why? Back then, I was like, okay, I want Korea to be the best of the best. Now I became the Korean American citizenship. I know Korea is doing very well, but still, I want America to be the number one country. So it's like half and half. I don't know which one should I go. But I'm just so happy that America is number one country and Korea is doing very well. I'm just so happy that I could be in the middle. I could take both sides.
I can relate to that. Having dual citizenship, home was always home. You always want the best for home. But
Mm-hmm.
since we chose this as our home, of course, we want America to win at all times.
Mm-hmm.
So, Heather, you mentioned you and your sisters. Tell us a little bit more. How many sisters do you have? And are your sisters here with you in America?
I have two younger sisters, and my father was the first son of the first son of the first and 38th generation, and he's the first son of also nine brothers. And imagine back then, you don't have boy, that's a big deal. So
Mm.
even though the cause of that we have no boy, only three sisters. I had got this. I'm the first one of the three sisters. I had this pressure, even though my parents didn't say anything about that. I have this pressure saying I gotta be like I should do better than the boys. I want to be somebody, and that goes to my mommy too. Okay, I don't have boys, but I want my daughters. They're gonna be the best of the best. So they sent all of my these three girls to America. I went to Manhattan School of Music. The middle one, she became the pastry chef. She went to school in the Boston Culinary School. And the youngest one, she went to Georgetown MBA and BU Law School. But
Mm.
thank God, they all married to Korean boy from Korea to go to school in America. So they all went back to Korea. My case, I met this unbelievably smart guy, unbelievably humble background from Bronx, and not just Bronx, South Bronx. So I ended up like living in America, but I love that because I am a Korean American now.
So this guy you met from South Bronx, this
Oh,
incredibly
yeah.
smart guy, is he also of Korean descent?
Yes, he's Korean American too, and He is more like the first immigrant generation. Back then, it is like either you became a lawyer or a doctor. They have no choice. So all of them, my husband's side, everybody became a doctor, and everybody finished college in 2 years.
Oh
That
boy.
come true. Like that's the thing. So I'm so proud of them because I'm not into that part.
So here you are, fallen in love with the Korean American, or should we say American Korean? How do we
Okay,
say it this
either way is okay. Yeah.
right? Either way. And he's from South Bronx and he's an incredibly smart doctor. And you're breaking all the rules because now you're going to stay in
Oh, yeah.
America.
Oh,
How
yeah.
did that go over with your family? And having to adjust and adapt. You did mention moving here at 21, not speaking English. How
Mhm.
did you manage all that?
You know what? I always had these things. Some girls love, sexy body, like good-looking guys. Some girls love rich boys. Everybody is different, but I always had these things for smart boy. And I see him, and he is the smartest guy ever. It's more like me following him. But then again, my parents' side in Korea, they said, no, 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 you cannot marry to the Korean American boy because your whole root is in Korea. But then again, you can't, nobody can win for their kids, right? So I ended up living him like married to this guy, and I think that's the best choice that I ever made, and that goes to my parents too. And then,
Oh,
because of Mingy, I get to learn a lot of things. Mingy is not my husband. He also my like I said, I didn't know how to speak English. He was my English teacher. He was my uncle. He was my brother. He's my best friend. He's everything. So
a
I'm so
little bit of pressure on Mingy, don't you think?
yeah, oh yeah.
So, Heather, you go to Manhattan School of Music. You're an accomplished violinist. Tell us about that and tell us about your experiences playing at the Lincoln Center, playing at Carnegie, and how is it that your love for music and your expertise
Mhm.
with the violin has evolved into who you are today and what you do?
The reason, I guess, most of the girls or boys coming to America from other country, I'm sure they are number one student. That's why they came to America. I guess that was my case too. And I thought, even though I couldn't speak English, the music you don't need words. It's just the music from your
Mhm.
heart. And I first year I thought I could make it, but then again, time goes by. I said, "Oh my God, everybody's number one, and there are so many, too many good players." And top of it, without the guarantee, I am so sorry to saying this, but I don't want to. I don't want to do that anymore. I didn't want to do that anymore. My life, whole time, you're in this small room, practice at least 3 to 5 hours without guarantee, and living in America. That was not me. I became smarter. When I was in Korea, my mother is in charge for everything. Okay, 9 to 5. Like you got to do that and that and that and that. So I just followed, but came to America. I kind of opened, and I felt the freedom of not just freedom of the way I look at the thing, the way I look, think about all these things, and I realized, I don't think so. I don't think I could make it. I realized, and even more importantly, I don't want to do that anymore. Whole the years, whole my life, and I see my boyfriend next to me. Maybe they should be the better choice. Yeah, that was the
Hours in
one.
the room practicing the violin alone or hanging out with your smart boyfriend,
Yeah.
you know?
Then again, I know how hard it is. I know how hard it is. So I do all of my colleagues. I do respect them 1,000%. So even though I don't play, but I do a lot of things for them or with them.
Tell
And I
us
feel
about
so lucky that I could do things like that.
Tell us about some of the things you're involved with, Heather. I know you were once the president of AWCA,
Mhm.
um, the Asian Women
Christian Association.
Christian Association, and you're very involved with the arts with them and very involved with. Tell us about that organization, what they do, and how you continue to serve.
Actually, through the AWCA, I said that's my like motherland, something like that, because I learned so many things. I learned how to organize, how to conduct the business, things like that. And because of the AWCA, I think I'm here because I learned so many things. I got a lot of connection. I made a lot of mistake, but through that, I know how to recover from the mistake. And
Mhm.
I always will thanks to AWCA and my another future plan is next year show me your heart is going to be 10th year, and after that I am going to go back to my homeland, and I am planning to do a lot of things with the AWCA, which back then I didn't know, but now I think I know better, and I think I could do better. So I want to do things with the AWCA so that I could, if I could do something for Asian people in
Mhm.
a better way, should I say better way or in a good way? And that'll be my honor. After all, no matter what, I have this look. I am going to be Asian American forever. So I want to do something for Asian American,
Mhm.
which back then I didn't know. But now, again, I feel like I know. I feel like I could do better job. So that'll be my honor. I would love to do that 10th year. Right.
You mentioned Show Me Your Heart and its 10th anniversary coming up. I cannot believe it's been 10 years. I cannot believe we've known each other more than 10 years. It's unbelievable.
But don't
Tell
we
me,
look the same?
if we look exactly the same, tell me about starting that foundation, how you got there, and some of the things you did before you started the organization.
Show me your heart. It's a beautiful name. Show me your heart. If you show me your heart, I will show my heart to you so that I will do anything, everything for you. I don't know what kind of connection that I have. I don't know what kind of potential that I have, but as long as you show me your heart, I'll do anything, everything for you with my background, with my financial, with my connection. That's the whole idea. But then again, for me to have the Show Me Your Heart is kind of sad story. I don't know, but a lot of people, I'm sure by now, do know that I lost my son, one and only. It took me almost 6 years to have him. I thought I could make it. I thought, my husband and I said, okay, we kind of brainwashed him, said, honey, I don't know about the first Asian American president. That was my goal. But at least you could be the governor or congressman. We kind of brainwashed him. And we are like so confident. And thank God that he followed all the rules. I put, Asian, tiger mom. I really raised him like all this, I follow all this protocol, and he followed me 100%. So Mingy and I were so sure that we're gonna make him, big man. But out of blue, boom, this thing happened. So we had to let him go to heaven first. After that, it was not easy. I was doing all these things, going crazy. But after 2, 3 years later, I finally realized, no, this is not the way it's supposed to be. This is not the way that my son wants in heaven.
Mm.
So to make the long story, I made this Show Me a Heart Foundation, and I am a true believer. I try to believe that, Heather, your plate is too big. You don't. Your plate is too big. Just one child is not good enough. I think you have all these children. You could just put everybody in your plate. So, like, through Show Me a Heart, if there is anybody who need my help or support, I treat all of my friends' children, my colleagues, all the children. I want to believe that they are my children. Mommies, they could do anything, everything for the children. So I do a lot of things for the, student to get the better benefit of knowing Show Me Your Heart, like the music, art, the credit, the recommendation letter, going to the medical school, the like society, whatever. I do anything, everything like they are my child, and I feel so lucky that I could actually do things like that.
Now, you mentioned medical school, and I know are you still on the board at the university for
Yeah,
Hackensack University Medical Center? Meridian now, I guess they have a
yeah.
new name, Hackensack Meridian. And your husband being a physician, and you, and I believe he still is a professor at the university. Tell us about your involvement there and how you and Mingy have supported the institution, the private university with Seton Hall.
Actually, I think it's 2 weeks ago, it was the first time ever Hackensack Meridian Medical School had the private tour with the dean and the marketing director and everybody. And I had around like 20 students who wants to be a doctor, and around like 10 to 15 tiger mommies who wants to send their kids to medical school. Oh my God. I had a few times a tour, but for 3 hours tour, like all these rooms and all these technical things, they are the best of the best. Not in just New Jersey, like whole nationwide. I think it's like when you think about, it's been there only a few years,
Mhm.
and then I think last year six 6,500 students applied, and we only
Yeah.
choose 125 students or something like that. So you could
Wow.
imagine the competition.
And
And
they've only been around for 5 or 6 years,
yeah,
right?
that's it. And the after the tour, I said, "Oh my God, I want to adopt some old enough to go to school, medical school. So I want to send this boy to this school because I'm there, Mingy's there. That's how much I wanted, like all of my kids to get into the school. And it is the unbelievable. And Mingy and I feel so honored that we are part of that unbelievable medical school. Very, very honored, right?
That's wonderful, Heather. And we know you've also put your money behind your commitment there. And I'm sure you're making a difference in the lives of so many students. Now, I tell us about some of the events and activities that your foundation does, and how are you funded? How are you able to raise money to give back and do so much?
You know what? The reason actually I had this hat is this coming Friday. I do have annual Kentucky Derby hat luncheon. There's a few very big events, although I do have the event almost every month, one or two, which is a lot. But again, I always saying to myself, it's children's stress. I know you do even this interview. It's not easy, but I said, whenever it's not easy, I said to myself, it's a children's stress. God gave me this stress. Why? Because He feels like I could do it. And this another children's stress for this Kentucky Derby. I see this weather is getting horrible, and you're supposed to have this beautiful dress and gown, and every day is a rainy day. But then again, I say, you know what? That's okay because everybody will have a great time, and they're not even gonna notice the weather. Okay, the Kentucky
Tell us
Derby.
about the event. Tell us more about the event, where it will be, and is it open to the public? Can people
Yes,
join?
yes.
Okay, tell us more.
Yes, anybody again has the big heart for the show me heart again. They all the event that I do is open to public. As long as, like I said, you show me your heart, we'll get together. And the whole idea is, guess what? The beauty of America is a melting pot.
Yes.
Everybody's different color, everybody's background is different. But imagine all this different color of the leaders get together and we're going to be the number one country forever. But then again, there's some lot of issue going on, and I said, you are the leader. I think I want to be the leader. We kind of let them see the direction. Come on. The little thing bothers you, but then again, don't put the whole thing there. Like, let's look at the big thing.
Mhm.
We are gonna be much happier if we live in the number one country. And I kind of feel like when I came to America, America was like number one, the number one country. But now I kind of feel like I shouldn't say it, but America is kind of a barely number one country, but still number one. So that's the whole idea.
We have
Now,
a few troubles, but we're
yeah,
gonna
right,
make
I
it.
know. So I said, you know what, barely number one, but still number one. So let's make sure that it'll be like, let's go back to like old time. Let's make sure that number one, just like very strong number one. So that's the whole idea for this hat luncheon. The title is Let's Make a Difference Together. So we have five honoree. There is a Anglo-Saxon lady, African American lady, Indian lady, Korean lady, all this background. But they are
Wonderful.
the true leaders in their field.
Mhm.
So like, okay, all these leaders there, you leaders, you bring your people. All these leaders bring our people, and let's put them together. So let's make a difference. That's the whole idea for this health luncheon. And after that, we're gonna have the. I'm just letting you the big event, although we have small event, but just letting you the big event. So June, we're gonna have the Gucci party at the Manhattan.
Mhm.
There's and the highlight of the things gonna be we are gonna have the holiday concert at the Princeton Seminary Library. So that's gonna be the
Wow.
highlight. Yeah, which we
Going
did
back to where it
together.
all
Yeah,
started.
we had the opening party.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Oh my God, when was that already? Time flies. Time flies. That was like
I
seven
know.
years ago, I think.
Yeah,
At
it,
least.
Heather, so much time has passed. We didn't mention the New York School of the Art, but we both um, serve on we're board members there, we're trustee members there for the New York School of the Art. And we get to do something special for the first time in years together. We get to co-chair the spring fundraiser. I'm losing my words. And that will be exciting. That too will be in June.
That'll be exciting, and that'll be the things that America need to have.
Yes.
That's America. If you again, number one country. Hey, being an Asian American, it has to be number one. Number two, it has to be number one. America again, barely number one. But then again, you and me, two twin sisters hosting this incredible event together. I guess that's the only way that America could have that title, still number
Which,
one kind of things.
you know, it's been said we're stronger together. The magic with us over the years has always been, to the visual you know, the person just looking on, they're like, we're the least likely
And
people
how do you know each other?
to walk in together. It's been our superpower because
Yeah.
we've been able to be so different, see things from two different perspectives, come together and work together for the greater good, which has always been for helping the children,
Yes.
helping the underserved, and never caring what race, creed, or nationality they are, just helping those in need. And you continue to do that today, which is absolutely commendable. Um, Tell us a little bit more, Heather, about what your plans are upcoming soon for you and this wonderful Korean smart doctor that you met so many
Uh-huh.
years ago.
So many years ago, we've been knowing, can you believe it? 40 years. Can you believe it?
Wow.
Wow, time flies so fast, and also so lucky. So lucky. So funny. Just like 10 minutes before the show, I said to Mingi, he left 5:45 a.m. this morning. He just came back. I said to Mingi, I feel so lucky because we still do care after all the 40 years. And we have the same mind about like looking at all these things, how lucky we are, and how many people actually have that kind of incredible marriage. But then again, having that marriage, we have to work very hard, like you and Obi. And usually the Asian, they don't say these things open to public. But then again, I'm not the typical Asian, and
You break all the
we're not
rules.
typical twin sisters. And we really have to encourage each other, saying, you're doing very well, so that's why I am doing very well. And I think we are like perfect example after all that years. We never ever put ourselves first. We always put you first, and you always put me first. I guess that's the way it's supposed to be. And I know that all of my friends should do these things or encourage each other so that our next generation could see the beauty of all these things. The next generation, they are like so smart. If you just say or order them, are you going to do that and that and that? They don't do that. You have to let them. We have to be a good example. And I am so lucky that I could be that example, because even though you have a lot of things in your mind, even though you have a lot of plan in your mind, they don't have not that many people are lucky enough to actually do that, lucky enough to show them, and they're lucky enough to be in that position. And you and I are so lucky that we could be the good example. And I guess you and me co-hosting these things, incredible Noang Museum. Can't wait. That'll be the like one of those highlight of my life.
It's been a few years since we've worked together, Heather. So I am looking forward to this. It'll probably be the highlight of my year as well. And our passion and love for the New York School of the Art will always be at the forefront. So working with you is always a pleasure. Thank you so much for joining us. So we want to just remind our viewers that on this Friday, at what time?
11:30 to 3 at the
11:30 till 3. I'm
Trump
sorry, go ahead.
Trump Country Club in Bedminster.
So it's at the Bedminster Country Club, and it starts at 11:30 a.m. You can visit Show Me Your Heart Foundation website. And tell us the website again, Heather, please.
Show me your heart.
It's
Foundation.com. Yeah.
smyhfoundation.com. So it's just the letters smyhfoundation.com for more information on the Derby Hat Lunch hosted by Show Me Your Heart and their generous hostess, none other than the chairman, Mrs. Heather One Choi. Thank you so much for joining us, Heather. It's been an absolute pleasure chatting with you. I miss you, my dear. Can't wait to see you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot.
My pleasure. So, ladies and gentlemen, we've been talking with none other than Heather One Choi of Show Me Your Heart Foundation. They have a hat luncheon coming up this Friday. Visit their website, SMYH Foundation and you.com, and you can get more information. So remember now, here at The Whole Woman, The Lady Mist products are always available. We ask that you get more, get more, get your candles, get your hand sanitizer, and of course, scan the barcode on the screen and you can get any of these three or all three for your collection. Part proceeds, 15% always gets donated to fighting atrocities against women worldwide. And this is how we fund all our charity work. So I'm Natalie B. McKenzie. I look forward to seeing you next Monday, right here, same place, same time. In the meantime, visit us on our website or on social media at The Whole Woman so you can learn more about our upcoming spring summer retreat set for June 23rd through the 26th. I'm Natalie B. McKenzie, and I wish you enough life to live, enough joy to give, enough love to share. I wish you enough. Good night.